Welcome in the Stiffs. Thank you very much to our sponsors for Series 2, Budgeon Motors. Been established for 40 years, best car dealership in Shropshire. Welcome to another episode of In the Stiffs. And today we are going to do World Cup memories. But before we do that, a shout out to our amazing sponsors, Budgeon Motors, best dealership in Shropshire. Thanks very much, looking after the lads. Sorted Gavin out with loads of vans. Sorted me out with the car. Have they sorted you out anything yet, Dave?
No, not yet.
You're in the midst, haven't you? You're in contract negotiations.
Hopefully. Discount's not quite there
Is
yet.
It not? No. Because it's 90% for anybody.
Dave's only on around 82%.
But it's 90% for anybody who goes down there and mentions In the Stiffs. If we are actually in the Stiffs, should we not get more of a discount?
Well, 100%.
Well, I know there's not a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah.
I don't 95?
Yeah,
Can you swear that, Gav?
I'll be honest, if I could turn back time and take away that 90% comment, I would, because there's so many people asking the question.
Are they not following it through?
I lied. It was a complete lie. I made it up.
What is it, just 80?
Just trying to get more
85.
viewers, wasn't I? Just trying to get more listeners.
Trying to get more listeners.
Yeah.
Created a little bit of a problem for Budgeon there, haven't we?
Yeah.
There's little sponsors for the third season, though, aren't they?
I don't know.
I know.
Oh, shit.
This is a bit awkward. Shall we not?
Yeah,
just to clarify then, you might not.
If they've sold 150 cars at what they hope to, then maybe. But if they've sold 150 at a loss, probably.
So they haven't got a Christmas offer then?
No, nothing like that. Well, I'm not commenting. If they have, I'm not commenting.
So I think better clarify just it's not guaranteed the 90%, is it?
Yeah.
We should have put that really in the
Depends how they
disclaimer
feel on the day.
Yeah, it might not it probably will be.
To change.
Subject to change, but probably will be 90%,
Yeah.
but it might not be.
Yeah, you feel like you're going to get 90% when you walk in there because they're so lovely, they're so like welcoming and kind, and you think I'm going to get 90% here, and but obviously they've actually got to make some money, I think.
Yeah,
so I thought it was a bit selfish.
Yeah, selfish.
Anyway, we need this. Just to Budgeon as well. If we do a third series, we'll be clearer with the discount.
Yeah. And if we don't, just blame me.
Please sponsor us. Anyway, let's World Cup memories. Well, obviously, got to remember that. Dave, how old are you, Dave? You're a bit younger than us, aren't you?
Yeah, 36.
Yeah, so and
born in 86, so
86. Yeah, that was my first memory.
So if you talk about that World Cup, I
vaguely remember 86. Mexico 86.
Obviously, I probably don't, but I remember 82 when Brian Robson scored a goal, didn't he? After was it 13? Oh, how many seconds was it? 27 seconds. That was going to be. I knew it was 13 or 27.
That was Witz's 7th World Cup.
Yeah.
This is 42 there, 2 kids.
Oh, it was your second, Witz, was it? It was your second World Cup.
Yeah. Then he come off. Then he came off Brian Robson, didn't he? Did he do his shoulder again? I just remember him always doing his shoulder. That's
he
my
loved
memory.
the shoulder, didn't he?
And he was getting old. He wasn't the same. But then in
82 he was getting old.
Brian Robson.
Not in 82.
I bet he was.
He was still playing in 90 odd, wasn't he?
No, was he? Brian Robson. You're thinking of
I think it was early
Bobby
90s.
Robson.
Nah,
You're thinking of Bobby Robson.
He was getting old there, wasn't he?
No, not in 82 he wasn't.
He was.
I'm not having that.
And listen, 30 them days as well was old. And Brian Robson.
He weren't 30 in 82.
Dave, get that up, Dave. Let's have a look where Brian Robson's
You think Pop Robson? That's who you're thinking.
Pop Robson. What a legend he is, Brian Pop Robson. He's an absolute hero of mine. He was my manager and reserves of Sunday. What a bloke he is. He's an absolute gentleman.
Scored. Was he in? Remember 101 great goals?
He scored overhead kick for West Ham.
To be fair, 82. He was getting on. He's 25.
Another thing,
he might be 24.
Another thing I'll tell you about the Denmark as well. 25. No one's had a
Sorensen. Did he play?
No wonder Sorensen couldn't get in the Denmark team with the Schmeichel family just dominating the Danish goal for years. No wonder Sorensen didn't get any caps.
Yeah. Only 120.
I always remember Brian Robson being old all the time, being off injured.
Yeah, Brian Robson in that team. Who else would have been in that team? Bobby Robson. Bobby Charlton was in that team.
So that was a kid. That was a good team. That
Brian Robson.
That was a good team. Honestly, Nobby Stiles and Brian Robson in that midfield. That was a good. That was strong.
Decent,
that was
very
decent.
strong.
That was decent.
Very strong.
Right. So some of the early memories are a little bit hazy. That's not the best start. Anyway, let's move on. 986. I do remember that one. You remember that one, Gav?
Just only flashes. Only flashes.
What, 1986?
I was born in 86, so
What are your memories of that?
Don't remember that, Dave? No.
Yeah, that was Maradona, wasn't it?
I would have been 5. I really remember flashes, but I remember having the book. The sticker book was a binder. It wasn't like a proper book. That year, it was like a binder. So I remember the '86 World Cup because of that. And I just remember Maradona. That was a binder that year. Yeah, well, or certainly a binder was involved. Yeah.
hazy.
Oh no! Sorry, that was Minder. Sorry, that was Minder. Sorry. Yeah, so I remember that, and I remember the cover of
Maradona.
the book.
That's obviously the famous hand of God, the Maradona. And the good thing, I remember when we got a bit, we were at Sunderland. And they used to show that all the time because Peter Reid gets like done, didn't he? East Ham was all Peter Reid, but we must have seen that video from the bus and stuff. It would get shown. And we're like, Maradona's picked the ball up, hasn't he? And Peter Reid's like chasing him. And Maradona's running with the ball. And like he's just going further and further. I'm thinking like Maradona is 3 times faster with the ball than Peter Reid without it. He doesn't even get a challenge in the end, does he?
No,
he just starts. He's like his little arms and legs are going and everything like that. If you're listening. Gaffer, you were struggling to keep up with Diego, weren't you? In fairness, so we used to try and give him a bit of stick, and he'd be like, "Thing is, that's Maradona running away from me, Sam. You've got the Carlisle fullback running away from me."
Yeah, you make a good point.
Fair point, Gaffer. Fair point.
I always loved that goal because whenever I scored, I'd get back to my phone. Very rare, obviously, but I'd get back to my phone, and all my mates would be like, "What was your goal like?" And I'd put, so I picked it up in my own half, ghosted past Steve Hodge, and then this like little geezer, Ride or something, went past him, and then the big centre half, Gary Butcher, like can make up all the names. Yeah, Butcher went past him, and then is it Shelton or Shelton or whatever his name is? Just went round him, slotted it in. All the lads just put header then. Yeah, header.
What about that as well? The thing with that, like the hand of God as well, like Shelton. He wasn't the tallest, was he? You'll have to look this up, Dave, but he's about 5'2". But even when he's jumped,
fair play. He's made all them appearances for England. He was a midget.
He's 5'2", and he jumped 4'9" that day. Like Maradona's only have a look at Maradona. Maradona's 4'8".
He's got his arm bent up as well, Maradona.
Yeah, it's not. It's like he should have. But he should have come and took the lot.
He's not close enough though, is he? Shilton's like Superman, and then he's not punching above him. He's sort of out in front of him.
6 foot Peter Shilton is generous. That's generous. So it has me still down to 72 kilos. It's generous. Don't read too much into them Wikipedia stats. Anyway, Brian Robson wasn't 25.
No. In Peter Reid's defence as well, it was boiling hot out there, wasn't it? How roasting was it? Was it the fact that he wasn't that quick, or was he just blowing, absolutely dehydrated?
Gary Lineker said, didn't he, about Maradona? He was asking about best players. Gary Lineker was like, obvious. He said Maradona by a mile. Just ridiculous. Just so much better than anybody ever played with. In that World Cup, I remember scoring against Belgium as well. This is probably wrong, but I remember scoring a great goal against Belgium, like twisting people up. And then
I saw that video of him when he's volleying the ball up in the air. He just keeps going.
Well, Gary Lineker went on about that, didn't he?
Did we talk about this on the last podcast or not?
No, I think we, amongst ourselves, we did. Yeah. When he's in the middle of the pitch and for that charity game, and he just volleys it up in the air. And it comes back down, and he volleys it back up in the air again. Just and he doesn't move like 3-4 square yards. And then they went into training the next day, and they're all trying to do it, and they couldn't get more than 3, and they're scrambling, chasing the ball everywhere. And
that's why he's
like just keeping the ball, keeping his socks up in the keepy uppies.
So that was the World Cup where they beat Germany in the final. Oh no, what was it? 6. They beat Germany in the final 3-2. Argentina.
Yes. Yeah.
3-2. Maradona made the goal, didn't he? Maradona was obviously played the tournament. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he was unreal.
Class. Anyway, so that was 86. Remember that a little bit. Tell you one. You remember this one, Gav. Dave, what, 1990, Dave?
Yeah, first memory.
Is that your first memory?
First football memory.
What did you say? When were you born?
So I'd have been 4.5 at that point. But we had, so I was mad on football as a kid, but I remember my dad bought me and my brother the VHS of the tournament. VHS. So obviously you haven't got the media that you got today, so we rewatched that so many times. Yeah. Anytime we was in the house enough to do, bam, put it on. So I remember vividly now all England's games during that.
It's the greatest World Cup there's ever been.
Oh my goodness, amazing.
Nessun Dorma. Got that on. Flipping max volume.
Nessun Dorma.
Nessun Dorma. That's good. I'm singing that at the live event.
Talk about music with Nessun Dorma, and that was this. Was that the one with the World of Motion I was saying before?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Wits? Yeah, World in Motion.
Slow or fast, but you could get to the line.
Something like that, yeah.
What is it?
You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. They'll always hit you and hurt you.
Defend and attack. There's only one way to beat them. Get round the back.
Catch me if you...
I
was in a
just a bit.
We did a video of that crossbar, didn't we? We did like a parody of it, and it was brilliant. And the only reason we did it was because, in the actual... in the original music video...
Keith Allen.
Yeah, they've got... who was it? I've lost my... Well, New Order, of course it was, sorry. But in the background, they got the flats. So I was driving through Telford and saw Hadley and they got the flats. And I thought, what we should do? We should do a flipping parody of that. So we did. And we did it all with that in the background. And yeah, it was brilliant.
It was good fun. You and all your mates on the crossbar lads.
Yeah, we did it.
You didn't ask me. Not me. You didn't ask me to be involved.
No, we're going to get you to be John Barnes, but you just fucking
Peter Shilton.
Peter Shilton, yeah. You're a bit too tall for him.
Too tall. I was going to be Brian Robson, but I was too young.
Yeah, we did that, but yeah, I have Ness and Dormer in the car, full blast,
I'm listening
all
to
the
that on the way
words.
to work tomorrow.
Kids,
100%.
Kids proper like rolling their eyes. Me nearly in full on tears.
100%. I'm playing that. I'm on volume 100. Windows down, driving through Shrewsbury High Street tomorrow. Ness and Dormer full blast. Look out for me. Give me a wave if you see me.
I'll proper up.
I watched something about Toto Scalacci. Obviously, he was the top scorer for Italy, and he wasn't like was he in? I'm sure he wasn't
Serie B or something.
Yeah, Serie B or whatever it's called, the second division. And he shouldn't even have gone. Really, he wasn't going to go. He was sub the first game.
Was he bald-headed fella?
Yeah.
He come on, scored. Then he come on again and scored. Then he ended up top scorer, an absolute hero. And he just come from absolutely nowhere.
Scalacci.
What a name as well.
Because England played them in the playoff game, was it? Yeah, third place player. And he scored in that, didn't he, as well?
I remember that. So I can't remember.
Witz has said Steve Ball's name at 17 times in the last 20 minutes.
It wasn't off Steve Ball.
It was a great achievement, wasn't it?
He didn't play in that tournament, though, did he? Much?
Yeah.
I think he came on.
He came on in the game.
He came on in the Ireland game, didn't he? I remember that.
Started the third place game.
Third, fourth place. Yeah, but no one plays in that, do they? They play all the other lads. No, I'm not.
And they were in the second division at that point.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
But so we had that. There was the Cameroon, wasn't it? Remember? The first game, Cameroon beat Argentina, and they were smashing people, weren't they?
Opening game of the tournament.
It was like Canija. Remember how good he rapping? They just
Claudio
took him out, didn't
Canija.
they?
Yeah.
And they were just smashing.
Was it 2 penalties as well?
Against Cameroon, yeah.
England, yeah. 2 pennies. Lineker scored 2 pens.
Who got the other one? That's a great trivia question, isn't it?
I'll get that.
Get that up, Witz. Who got the third one?
I can give you all the other scorers in the other games.
Yeah, me too.
But Gaza,
David Platt
against Belgium, extra time.
Did he not get the other one against Cameroon?
He might have done. That's not a bad shout. But Gaza played a great pass through for Lineker, didn't he? And he went around.
He got fouled. What a ball that is as well.
Gaza was insane.
So that's the qualifying. Yeah. So then there was the Belgium. Platt. Well done, Gav.
Stick with me. Stick with
me.
Who
ose? So there's 4 goals. Was it 3-2 or 4-2?
3-2.
3-2
Cameroon. Then it was Belgium.
It was that 119th
and then
minute, wasn't it?
109th minute. And that was Gaza again. Gaza took the free kick and he's chipped it over.
What a
come
finish,
over David Platt's shoulder and he's hit it.
That is such a hard technique.
Oh, ridiculous. Gone in the corner.
I'd love to have a chat with David Platt about that. Like, what you think as that's coming over your shoulder? What you
Platt on?
But he wasn't starting, was he, at the start of the tournament? He came into the team later on again, didn't he?
He was a funny player, though, wasn't he? He used to arrive late in the box now, but he wasn't like technically brilliant and everything like that, was he?
He was like loads of energy, wasn't he? And used to just get goals, didn't he, from deep.
But Gaza was ridiculous. And obviously I was in Newcastle at the time, so we all loved Gaza.
Yeah.
And then there was the semi-final for Germany, wasn't there? And like Gaza had already been unbelievable. He was doing the Cruyff turns and that was amazing all the way through it. And then he got booked, didn't he, in that semi-final?
Head went.
That's when Lineker's done that thing, as you said, his head's gone.
I still think that as a rule to this day, they've got to change. Should never. Is that they changed it now? Have they? I know they're speaking about it last year, weren't they?
Because you used to get a yellow card. You could get a yellow card in the first group game, and if you got one like in the semi-final afterwards, you'd miss the final.
You should never ever miss the final unless you get a red card.
Yeah. I mean, and he was as well the number one standout player. I mean, he was so head and shoulders above everyone, wasn't he?
Amazing.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
No one could touch him.
Maradona was there, but he'd gone out and he remember when he goes up celebrating. Everyone's like...
Headbutting the camera and that.
It's like, is he all right?
Oh, is he on...
Was that 94? Yeah, was it? He's played in a few World Cups then.
Yeah.
He's done well as well because he was 42 when he played in that one.
Yeah, him and Brian Robson.
But Gaza was amazing. I remember watching that, me and my brother, and Gaza, and I remember us crying Because I cried when Gaza got booked. I was just because Gaza was crying.
There can't have been a dry eye in the country. I was in tears.
I
remember my brother, who's 7 years older than me. He was absolutely in tatters as well.
How good was Lineker's goal in that game, the equaliser?
Yeah, where he had to roll in, didn't he?
Took it on his thigh, didn't he? Across him, left foot, bottom corner.
Finisher, absolute finisher.
And Shilton, that was Shilton, where the ball looped up off didn't it? And Shilton, I mean, it's hard when you're 5'2", isn't it? But like the ball,
if he was getting smaller and smaller, wasn't it?
Little steps.
Move your feet, Shilts.
Take a big step, Shilts.
Move your feet, son.
We're going to be careful. We're never going to get Shilts on if we want to give him a bit of stick.
Flip. How many kids in the country as well had that little Roberto Baggio rat's tail? Just grew that out the back of it.
That was 94, that was, wasn't it?
He had it in Italian United, didn't he? I think he still had the...
I don't know.
I remember in 94.
It was just a bit longer in 94.
But that's semi...
It just grown a bit more, I think.
That's when it went to the pens, didn't it? And that was the Stuart Pearce one, wasn't it? That was horrible, that. Yeah. And then Chrissy Waddle blazed it over. Gary Lineker says, well, I listened to him on a different podcast. I don't know if it was David the CEO or High Performance podcast. One of our rivals. David the CEO on the High Performance one. You know our two main rivals?
Yeah.
Our two rivals.
Yeah. Worried about us,
arch enemy of mine, Stephen Bowler.
They don't sleep when they hear the steps.
He said, but Lineker said if you could change anything, it was when the ball comes back off the post. Chrissy Waddle doesn't hit the inside the post, and if Gary Lineker just like took a step to the left or step to the right, whatever it was, and you win the World Cup. He said that's his biggest regret.
Yeah, it's a lovely strike by Waddle, there wasn't it?
Yeah, cool. So close that was as well, wasn't it?
I used to love watching him play as well, just like galloping up the wing.
Yeah, loved him.
Did Gaza score a penalty in the shootout?
I want to say he did. Or was that 96 he scored a penalty?
I don't think he did.
I think he did, you know.
I'll tell you what,
if he did, he's got some bollocks there to obviously get...
Who scored? David Platt scored. Lineker scored.
I think Gazzy, you know.
Pierce missed, and who
Beardsley
else?
scored, didn't he?
Was it Beardsley?
Beardsley scored, yeah. Beardsley scored.
Beardsley, and then Chrissy Waddle blazed it over.
Yeah.
Devastating. That
Stuart Pearce is still going in it.
Bobby Robson,
some strike that, wasn't it?
Bobby Robson was the manager. Like, he was class as well, wasn't it? It was just that was without doubt the best World Cup.
Yeah.
I know obviously you were at a young age, so you remember it as just being magical. But
I can remember everything about it.
Do you remember who scored against Egypt?
Yes, Mark Wright.
Yeah.
My dad. My dad.
You're older than him.
But it was
he's a bit younger than me.
But it was it wasn't a great group, was it? They drew the first two, Ireland and Holland, and then beat Egypt 1-0.
Lineker's goal.
Well, if you look at what they've just done in this tournament, obviously losing in the quarters, but they were so much more dominant, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
People look back on 90 like it was
But
amazing. There's the memories.
It was also because football then, it wasn't on all the time now, so you never really saw these players. So when you suddenly see like Argentina or Brazil or Italy, and that it was magical.
We're spoiled now, aren't we?
Yeah. You see Mbappe now all the time. You didn't see these players.
You see what he's doing at home on his Instagram and stuff.
Exactly.
Match of the day on Sunday. Do you remember that? You sit down, have your Sunday dinner, and the football, Man United, Liverpool would be on, and it would just be like, oh my God, like just couldn't wait for it.
Magical. So that was the best World Cup ever.
Do you remember when we did the Brian Little podcast? He said about that. I remember asking him when he met with England, what was it like? All these superstars. He's like, didn't really know what they looked like because they didn't have any sort of videos of them or anything like that. So you turn up and you meet them for the first time. But it's not like nowadays turn up to play for England and you know everything about Harry Kane.
That's what they say now, though. Said like it helped because they all follow each other on Twitter and Instagram, so they get to know each other really well. Whereas Rio Ferdinand and Lampard talked about that. You wouldn't see each other, and then you'd all meet up, but you'd still be like in your own club's environment because you didn't really know the lads the same way. Whereas now, they're all the time there.
Now, even if they're not teammates, they sort of greet each other because it's like,
But they all follow each other on TikTok.
I'm famous,
so you
you're famous. We're both footballers, like nod each other, all right, mate, how are you? Because they sort of half know each other.
It's like us three now, because we're famous, because of our podcast, so massive now, that like everybody feels like they know us. So people just come and chat to me now because they feel like they know us, because I'm in.
Always knew he was a bit of a dick. I had my suspicions, but it's just confirmed it for me.
Yeah. He sounds like on the podcast now. I've just seen him in the White Horse, and he definitely is.
But random one, a bit off subject. You see about knowing each other and greeting each other in the tunnel. You see in the World Cup, which is obviously just gone, Henderson and Mbappe in the tunnel.
No.
I see it. No. Sure, I saw a clip of it the other day, and I presumed it was from that game where Mbappe's reached over to Henderson to kind of shake his hand. He's kind of leave it there for a little while where Henderson just looked dead straight and just ignored him.
I love him even more now. I love him even more.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
I used to like when he saw remember Newcastle playing against Man U and Shearer and Roy Keane both stood at the front, like, just not even.
Yeah.
He's too proper.
But there's something to be said for that. In that moment, when you, like we've said it earlier, obviously in the would it have been the last one? And we were talking about how, obviously, how you want to prepare and, you know, you have fire in your belly and ice in your veins. Surely in that moment, it's not the time, is it? Just to sort of embrace each other. And
It's like,
don't get me wrong, when all's said and done and you've been to war, then absolutely. You know, not laughing and joking if you've lost, but surely in that moment, it's not the time or the place, is it?
Paul Pogba played against his brother, didn't he? Like Roy Keane was losing his head. Roy Keane's gone, Paul Pogba has spoken to his brother more in that half than I've spoken to my brother in the last 5 years. He couldn't cope with it, Roy Keane. He was going to kill him.
Did you see the footage of him?
Yeah,
it was ridiculous, mate.
Come on, what have you got to talk about?
More so if it's your brother. Just don't talk to him. Just be like, mate, I'll see you at mum's at the weekend.
Like we used to play against your mates and you just like, I was playing against my little mate, Con, and he was playing for Dartland and he was tying his lace and he ran on and I just shoved him over and just ran off. Like, it's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, we're getting a bit sidetracked here. We're only on Italian 90.
Well, Italian 90's got to take up the bulk of it. It's just the greatest World Cup of all
We might have
time.
to edit this, but let me quickly just show you.
Love that, Henry.
We'll put a link.
But then after the game, Henderson be like, excuse me, Killing, can you take your shirt, please?
Well played today. I thought you were brilliant.
I thought you were amazing. Can you just get this picture for me, kid, please? No chance, Jordan. Right, so that was Italian 90. Best.
Well, hang on,
best
there must be
music.
some more players in Italian 90 that we haven't mentioned. Who else was in there?
So West Germany, wasn't it? So it was
beat Argentina in the final. Bremer, the left back, scored the
Bremer, Lothar Matthäus.
Lothar Matthäus.
I remember
he was a star man.
Germany in the group stages beat UAE 4-1 and Lothar Matthäus hit a driver from about 30 yards.
He ran as well, didn't he? He ran forward, didn't he? Then zinged it in the bottom corner.
It must have been about 2 or 3 inches off the floor the whole way, about 30 yards, and just went in the bottom corner. And don't get me wrong, the UAE keeper weren't up to much.
He's only small.
Shilton or something he was called.
Lothar Matthäus was some player. He said about Gaza being the star man. I think Lothar Matthäus probably got player of the tournament. Probably didn't.
It wasn't as fair. I reckon you're wrong. I reckon you're wrong again, Sam.
I reckon Lothar Matthäus play the tournament because I think Scalacci, but I think if Germany won it, I bet Lothar Matthäus got to play the tournament. He's only smaller.
Sam thinks Jack Charlton played in Italian 90. I'm not having it.
Who else was Italy then? It would have been Italy. Badgers were playing them.
Italy lost in the semis to Argentina.
Baggio would have been playing, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Scalacci was obviously in there. Totti, no. Totti.
See some big Italian names.
Should have done a bit more research.
Maldini would have played in that. I would have thought. He was in and around that, like coming in that era.
Maybe.
Oh, the Baresi.
Franco Baresi would have played.
Yeah. That's what we used to call you, didn't we? In Liquid, we used to call you Baresi.
Man marker.
Yeah, absolute man marker.
I used to be your man. All right, Baresi. Who's that? Scalacci got to play the tournament. I did mention him as well. Lothar Matthäus must have got second.
Yeah. Joint with Gaza.
That's
joint?
joint. Which just confirmed that it's joint. Yeah. So Italian 90, I can't remember the other players in that. But it was good, great tournament.
Oh, so good.
Just all of them magic around. I bet if we watched that, like England, was it the Belgian?
Tell you one who's memorable is the Cameroon striker. Was it Roger?
Roger Miller.
No, he was ridiculously
good. He did the dance and he scored against England.
He must have been about 48 in that tournament.
He was.
I think he was like his 40 or something.
Yeah, he was something stupid.
They were great. Cameroon, like everyone's sort of second team there, weren't they?
Yeah.
That was great. Anyway, Italian 90, best one. Then after that, we went from the highs of Italian 90 to 1994. Didn't even qualify. Remember that? That was Graham Taylor when he's like, do I not like that?
Oh, yeah. Remember the documentary?
The turnip.
Yeah,
on the front of the paper.
Koeman, he's going to flip it, and he flips it.
Yeah. And he should have been off 2 minutes before.
And Graham Taylor goes, you just got me the sack, didn't you, or whatever, too.
Yeah. Ray Wilkins got caught, didn't he, doing commentary. And the mics didn't go off. And he went, obviously we're really disappointed and, he shouldn't have been on the pitch, but look, this is football and all that. And then it cut away and the mics are still on. And he went, what I really wanted to say is they shouldn't have been on the pitch. And absolutely called him the C word and everything live
that's
on
right,
there.
so he brought someone down and scored a free kick.
Yeah, that's it. Well, he brought
whoever it was
through on goal, wasn't they?
Was it Lineker?
Yeah, Lineker, I think. Brought him through in on goal.
Platt.
He's got to be sent off. And then...
Platt, I think, and he's like dragged him down. Should have been sent off, didn't, then scored
2 minutes
the
later,
free kick.
England
didn't qualify. It was USA,
who would have been in the England team then? Was that before Shearer's time?
I'll tell you why we didn't qualify, because Carlton Palmer was playing centre midfield.
I was going to have Jeff Thomas.
Jeff Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, he got a cap that. Yeah, it wasn't a great
there?
time that.
Yeah, we weren't great.
It was a bit of a change. I don't know what was Gaza playing? He would have been.
Gaza would have been around it, yeah.
wouldn't he? But
We'll have a little look at the lineup.
Yeah.
Holland, wasn't it?
Holland in the qualifiers.
The Netherlands. Yes, the Ronald Koeman in the Netherlands. Sweet. Thomas Brolin.
Thomas Brolin. Yeah. He scored a few, didn't he?
Yeah.
A chunky little fella, but beautiful hair.
He was proper. Yeah, he had lovely hair.
Yeah.
He went to Leeds, didn't he?
Yeah.
Leeds took
Thomas
him after
Brolin,
that.
Yeah, he was good. Who won in '94 then? Was that France or Italy?
France won it. Well, France won '98, didn't they?
Should do a bit more research anyway.
It's nice talking. It's like deliberating, isn't it? I like not knowing.
So in '93 they played. They lose 2-0 in the game. No,
1-0.
Anyway, October '93 is the same sort of players.
Go on.
Seaman, Parker, Tony DeRigo, left back. Carlton Palmer, Tony Adams, Gary Pallister, David Platt, Merson, Shearer, Lee Sharp, Paul Ince.
Not a terrible team, is it?
Ian Wright came on and Andy Sinton.
Not a terrible team. The Paul Ince in the midfield there.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Carlton Palmer was actually he was doing well at that time, wasn't he? Like big, gangly, awkward guy, wasn't he?
Well, so '94 was a write-off because didn't it? We weren't even there.
But it was in USA and it was a good tournament, wasn't it?
Yeah, good for Ireland, wasn't it?
Ireland did really well.
Yeah, Mick was manager, wasn't he?
Yeah. I love. Have you seen that? There's like a short documentary in there on the Paul McGrath versus Baggio. So Paul McGrath marked him out the game, didn't he? And was like unreal. Like Baggio just couldn't. Like obviously he was the star of the tournament. Just couldn't get any change out of Paul McGrath. I think it's
that the heat was supposed to be really bad, wasn't it?
It made me. I think Jason McAteer said a funny story, didn't they? And they were like going down the line or whatever, and they said something about the bird's tits in the front row or something like that, and they're like, "Yeah, pass it on." I can't remember the story, but it's brilliant.
Oh yeah, no. Then it comes over to Jason McAteer. No, it's a blonde girl, row 7, check her out, pass it on. So they passed it on again. So they said to like Phil Babb or whatever. Blonde girl, row 7, pass it on. They're all lined up like this, all lined up ready for that.
That's Roy Keane.
So it's come to Jason McAteer, hasn't it? And someone's got to McAteer. They've gone blonde row 7, pass it on. And Jason McAteer's looked to the left. He stood next to Roy Keane, and he's looked at. He's gone, I can't see that Roy Keane. So he's just got to Roy Keane. He's gone. Come on, Roy, keep the ball, win your battles.
Keep it tight, won't it? Keep it tight.
Keep it tight, Roy. I can't say that to Roy Keane. He'll kill me.
Yeah, no, he's read the room well there, hasn't he?
Definitely.
Know your players.
Then we went from '94, '98 was in France. That was, remember Glenn Hoddle got us to that. Remember getting a little draw with Italy.
Yeah.
And John Gorman.
Paul Ince was come off with like bandage.
That's it. Yeah, he did the old Terry Butcher, didn't he?
Yeah.
Rome. Good draw that. Good. Because they were good at the time, weren't they? Italy, they were big hitters.
Yeah, that was with Gaza. Didn't he? Paul Ince was wearing a white headband, wasn't he? And after the game, he was getting an interview with Gaza. And Gaza went, look at him, he looks like a pint of Guinness. It was like, the reporter's like,
cut, too far.
But John Gorman was Glenn Hoddle's assistant there, and John Gorman was my manager in Northampton. I've told you this before, haven't I? When he used to try and go, he used to do like these little skill games with us, and he'd be like, "Come on, Sam, Scholesy used to love this one." Scholesy used to love it.
You're chasing it all over the training field. I'm not so keen on
this one, if I'm honest, Gaffer.
It's the whole Eileen Drury sort of situation, wasn't it?
Was it Eileen Drury?
Is that her name?
It was when Gaza didn't get picked. Gaza didn't get picked and smashed it, didn't he? Because he'd been in this initial squad of whatever it was, and he got left out.
They left him out, didn't they?
Yeah. And
see something on that recently, Glenn Hoddle saying that, and he said it wasn't to do with anything other than Gaza was struggling with injuries. He said he was like proper struggling to find fitness and just didn't feel like he could take him because his body just kept breaking down.
John Gorman, he'd be a brilliant guest because he's amazing, but he said...
Set it up then, Sam.
He said, yeah, I haven't got a number from anything, but I'll try and get in touch with him. But he's a brilliant bloke. He said when Gaza left the squad, though, he said Beckham and all them young lads grew because Gaza was such dominant personality, such a big character, that it sort of gave the others a bit more freedom because they were just in awe of Gaza and a bit intimidated by him.
Yeah. You see that with a lot of teams, don't you?
Yeah. It'll
happen with Portugal, and when Ronaldo goes, I think you'll see the likes of Fernandes and all that kind of...
Yeah, they grow a little bit, don't they? So it's, it would turn out to be a good thing.
Remember Owen's goal?
Says the Michael Owen tournament, wasn't it?
Against Argentina.
It was Pochettino that was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The last defender.
Did you see Barnett then? Pochettino's Barnett back then? Like full on long.
I didn't realise it was
it. Proper long Barnett.
That was it. So the last defender, because he's dribbling and you think, like, he's through on goal. There was another defender there and he just flew past him.
It's come across him. It's come from his left-hand side and he's looking over his left shoulder and he's taking it on the outside of his left foot into his stride, muscled past that one, then chopped back across and then hit it across his body.
And then when he's running away from goal to hit it like he did.
Yeah,
it was insane.
He was only about 17. He was electric then, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think he was. I watched something recently with Michael Owen. He was talking about his pace, and obviously when it went, he had to adapt his game. He's never the same player. But he just said at that point he was unplayable. He said nobody could. He said I was without a doubt for 3 or 4 years the best striker in the world. No one could get near me.
Yeah.
No one was good enough to mark me.
It'd been a nightmare, and his finishing was a joke. On top of that, wasn't it?
I used to think he used to kick the ball strange. Obviously,
he didn't have a proper blast in him, did he? He was like it.
Everything was a bit of a hook, wasn't it? Everything was sort of
he used to go in the back
strange
of the net.
technique. Obviously, flipping it, yeah. he'd probably look at me and go, flipping, yeah.
Hold on a minute. Mike Lund's going on and Gavin Cowan's questioning my technique.
great technique. You just smashed it over the stand, mate.
So that
Clear your lines, Michael. Clear your lines.
Yeah. That tournament, I remember Beckham scored against Colombia, a free kick. That was 98, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And this is where Beckham kicked Simeone, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Simeone went down.
Oh, how about when he went down? How pathetic.
Horrendous, wasn't
Just
it?
bought it, didn't he? Knew what was coming.
And then
Beckham's absolutely
straight away, did he?
Yeah, hook, line and
Batty missed the pen, didn't he? David Batty. And it goes like Kevin Keegan was commentating on that, and he said, is he going to, score or miss or something? And Keegan just like, score, and he missed.
I meant miss.
Score, miss.
Does anybody remember so I think Owen opened the scoring, didn't he? But then Batistuta off a free kick. Do you remember how well worked it was?
Yeah.
He started on the edge of a wall, and then he rolled behind the wall, and they laid him in.
Little 1-2.
It was a great goal.
Yeah. And then again, what? Because they scored, but then Sol Campbell's goal was ruled out, wasn't it?
They was all still celebrating, weren't they?
I remember we were all out celebrating. We were all jumping up and down, bouncing on the tables and chairs.
On the attack,
and then Veron was bringing the ball up the pitch. I was like, what's he doing? It's a goal.
He's got the centre spot's there. Yeah. Simeone.
That was a bit unlucky as well, wasn't it?
What was the score of the game? Was it 1-0 or 2-2?
We lost 2-1, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
Of course, yeah. Sorry, no, it was 2-2, wasn't it?
Can you remember the stick?
It was Shearer, wasn't it, that got penalised for the challenge on the keeper.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was the problem. Even though the keeper was nowhere near it, but Shearer's jumped and he's just got above the keeper early. I didn't think it was a foul, to be honest, but probably a bit biased.
We need to check these facts. Anyway, please don't start tweeting us that all this is wrong, is it? Because there's probably some of that.
Sorensen played in that World Cup.
Should have done more research.
We wanted to keep it natural.
Just
pure memories.
Is that what we're saying? We keep it natural. Is that another way of saying lack of preparation?
Organic, we like to call it, don't we? It's an organic podcast.
That's what you said. You said that.
If we scripted it, it's not a true memories, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Beckham, the stick Beckham got was horrendous, disgusting. Mate. He just
vile.
I was spoke about last week, didn't we, about some fans being morons? But remember, Beckham was just the effigies of him and everything, and everybody hammering him, death threats.
It was embarrassing, wasn't it?
He's made a mistake. How old was he at the time? He was 21, 22, young lad. He kicked someone. Simeone was at 22, wasn't he?
I was going to say he's right. 27. No, he was young.
Sounds like, what was he, about 12?
No, he was young. I reckon he probably was 22 because I remember he scored.
Check that. I want to get one right.
He scored the goal from in his own half in '96, and that's when he first come onto the scene, wasn't it?
Probably not. I've done him probably all right with that one.
But like you say though, what a ridiculous reaction. I mean, he was young. The thing is, everybody was waiting to jump on him. Good-looking guy.
Jealousy.
Absolutely. Everyone was looking to jump on him. And Man United as well were the absolute out-and-out best team in the country. So anyone who wasn't a Man United fan wanted to stick the needle into him. He had no chance. Yeah. But I remember being relatively young myself, thinking to myself, God, that's embarrassing. Leave him alone.
Who else were the star players for England in that tournament? So obviously Owen, Shearer played from him.
Yeah, Shearer was the main man.
Tony Adams still getting a bit older there. McManaman.
Before Gerrard?
Yeah, before Gerrard.
Ince
and Batty played, didn't they?
Batty, horrible.
Darren Anderton?
Anderton played on the right, didn't he?
McManaman would have been in. Jamie Redknapp, would he have been involved in that?
Don't think he played in that game. Sol Campbell was a centre half.
Gary Neville would have played, wouldn't he?
Yeah, who would have been a left back?
Then after that, I don't know.
Lasso?
Possibly, yeah.
Pierce would have just gone.
Yeah, he would have
played 96, didn't he?
Would have been Graham Lasso, wouldn't it?
Tony Dorigo, maybe.
No.
Tony was about 20 years before that.
He's not. Tony Dorigo would have been that. Look at him, it's Tony Dorigo, that would have been.
He was playing with a tournament.
He got man of the match.
He was playing with a tournament.
He got man of the match. He got an assist man of the match, he did.
He was the top goal scorer player of the tournament.
He marked Maradona out the game that day.
Who'd you play against? Italy.
Then it was Japan, wasn't it, in 2002? That was mental because that was 7 o'clock in the morning. So I remember I was back up in Newcastle then. I just remember everybody being in the pubs at 7 o'clock in the morning. Everybody going off to the office to go to work, like, having had 6 pints.
Yeah. I remember being steaming at Yates in Colchester about 7:45. Take it steady, lads. This is a long old day. It's a long old day.
You've had school. You've had school.
That was my last year of school, that was, yeah. Remember watching them.
What were you, steaming in Ponsbury?
Yeah.
Local boozer.
Mary Webb.
A bag of Haribo, mate.
And that was Ronaldinho, wasn't it? Seaman messed up, didn't he? Ronaldinho hit the big free kick, didn't he? Which was a bit of a cross.
It came up the other day and he gave it that he meant it.
He was good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was good, but he crossed that.
He was a joke, wasn't he? But yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even need to lie, does he? He scored that many amazing goals.
We moved on to 2-2 there, but 98, that was Ronaldo. Ronaldo's tournament, wasn't it? Where he's unbelievable.
Yeah. And he had a bit of... Did he have a problem in the final, didn't he?
Yeah, he swallowed his tongue, didn't he, in the warm-up or something?
Is that what it was?
He swallowed his tongue, didn't he?
But there was a problem with him, wasn't he? Because he was ripping it up, wasn't he? He was amazing. And then...
France 2098, wasn't it? France 98.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well,
and he had his Barnet, didn't he?
They lose 3-0 or win 3-0 still?
Lost 3-0.
Lost 3-0.
When was the headbutt? Zidane when headbutted him? Was that years later?
That was miles later, yeah.
Yeah, that was against Italy, wasn't it?
Yeah, Materazzi. That was
where he dinked it in the final.
South Africa, wasn't it? Was that 2010, that one?
He dinked a penalty, didn't he, in the final?
That was 2002, wasn't it?
That
was when Beckham scored the pen. Was that Beckham scored a pen against Argentina? Like redemption?
Yes. Yeah, redemption.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and he
drilled it down the middle, didn't he?
We beat them 1-0, didn't we?
Yeah.
Brilliant that was.
Yeah, it was good. Team played well on that.
2002. So who won in 2002, Wits?
Brazil, yeah, of course it was. Yeah, no, because it was the one after 98, I'm sure it was Brazil. Because the 98 final was mental, wasn't it? Because obviously everybody was buzzing for Brazil to get it, but France was so good.
Was that Romario and Bebeto up front? Remember them two?
Yeah.
So England's games, group games, drew to Sweden 1-1.
Right.
And then, I see who scored in that game. And then they beat Argentina 1-0.
Yeah. Remember
So Sol Campbell scored in the first game. And then Beckham against Argentina drew 0-0 to Nigeria. And then
celebration when he scored, he grabbed
Taribo West.
round of 16, they beat Denmark 3-0. Ferdinand Owen Heskey.
Schmeichels.
And then they lost.
One of the Schmeichels would have been goal for
that. And then they lost 2-1 to Brazil. Lost 2-1 to Brazil. Michael Owen scored to put with the league.
Yeah.
Rivaldo, Ronaldinho. And then Ronaldinho got sent off as well. I can't remember that.
I don't remember
that. Is that when Rivaldo, remember when the ball hit him and the ball hit him on the shin and he fell down holding his face?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He's a good player. I remember Steven Gerrard talking about Rivaldo. He was telling Bavo, our mate, he was mates with. He said Rivaldo was one of the strongest players he's ever played against. Gerrard said, "You wouldn't think that, Rivaldo, would you?"
Rivaldo,
Rivaldo.
Yeah, see,
wiry strength.
It's always the way, isn't it? Long levers, isn't it? It looks like granite, doesn't he? His face is weathered and all that. You wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley. Yeah, always long levers, isn't it? They're always like your Abramoviches.
They had a good team back then.
Yeah, very good.
Let's just get a little bit ahead of ourselves. Make sure you look up 2006 Germany just before I come to it.
Player of the tournament.
On the 98, can you remember the goal scorers in the 98 World Cup final for France?
Trezeguet.
No.
I'm sure Trezeguet scored, didn't he? He was a young kid, wasn't he?
No.
What was the score?
2 Arsenal players, wasn't it? I thought, didn't Vieira get 2 and Emmanuel Petit got the third one, didn't he?
Petit score. Was that year, was it?
Or was it, sorry, no, it was Zidane. No, it was Platini. Platini scored. Yeah, Platini scored.
Was it Deschamps captain then? Do you remember, wasn't he? Yeah, he was the France manager now.
Yeah,
because they were saying he's one of the only people to have won it as captain and as a manager.
Didier Deschamps.
It was in 39 minutes there, absolute shambles. We don't know what to talk about.
We'll have to redo this one. Who did they play the final? Brazil. Let me just see the scores. I might have been. Seven players scored.
Emmanuel Petit scored the third because I remember it was like a counter attack.
Gav just said all the Arsenal players scored.
Zidane scored 2.
I didn't know Zidane would have...
Petit?
I can't remember Zidane at Arsenal.
Yeah, he went on loan, didn't he? He went on loan earlier that year.
And Petit did get one, didn't he?
Yeah, then Petit.
See?
Not see. What do you mean see? One Arsenal player.
And Petit was player of the tournament as well.
Right. Then
This is
2006, Germany.
Right then.
We lost to Portugal, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me the 4 games before that then?
Before Portugal?
Yeah.
No.
Have a guess at one team. Have a guess at one team they played.
2006.
They won the first 2 group games, then drew.
England won the first 2. Give us the first. If you give us the first one, get the rest.
They beat Paraguay 1-0.
Right.
First game.
Paraguay.
literally can't remember
Own
that
goal.
at all. Can't remember
Second game.
If you give us the first two, I'll get the next.
Go on, Dave.
Second game. Caribbean team. Second game.
Oh, Crouchy scores. Peter Crouch.
Jamaica.
Score header.
Yeah, Crouch and Gerrard.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, how come...
83 and 90
I'm
this
not
one,
answering any of these questions.
Did you get the team?
I'm leaving it all to you, and I've done all the rest of them, didn't I? Up until 2000, I'm just giving you a chance now.
What?
Still got the team? No, you haven't said the team yet, have you?
Jamaica.
Cameroon.
No. Okay, Caribbean.
Raja Milaman.
Was it Jamaica?
No.
I'll just flip it. Were you a parrot? I just said Jamaica.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Oh, of course
Yes.
it was, yeah.
Peter Crouch scored Trinidad and Tobago.
And then they drew to Sweden 2-2.
Sweden.
Joe Cole and Gerrard.
Joe Cole
Yeah.
scored a
Was
good
it the
goal.
volley?
The volley. That was it.
It was, yeah.
That's one
From
thing.
about
Best goals,
35
that.
yards.
And round of 16, they beat Ecuador.
Yes, remember.
I don't remember any
Beckham
of
free
that.
kick.
Yeah, Beckham. I don't know if it was a free kick.
Beckham header at the far post.
Good knowledge. And then what happened after that?
Lost
Ronaldo lost to Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on pen.
The Arsenal players scored, didn't they? In that?
Zidane.
Yeah, they lost on pens. But Rudy got sent off, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, remember. But again, you talk about
Lost to
fire in the
Nigeria
belly.
in the semi-final. And
Yeah.
Scalacci scored.
Yeah. You talk about fire in the belly, ice in the veins. That game there, Rooney was just off his head, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Just totally wired in, aggressive, bull in the china shop. It was
He was
maritime, wasn't it?
a bit like Gaza, wasn't it? It
Yeah.
just meant that much to him.
Yeah,
He just-
yeah. He was so emotional in that game. It didn't
And I genuinely
surprise you.
thought, like 2004 and 2006, if he played well, England win it.
Yeah.
Well, that's-
He had that sort of ability. He got injured in 2004, didn't he? During
Yeah.
his metatarsal in the Euros.
That was the theme, wasn't it? If he plays well, you win the
He
tournament.
was seen as our superstar when he's our one world class player. Yeah. We thought like Gaza, and he was as good as anybody. Or we thought he was.
Yeah, easy. I don't think Rooney. He was appreciated, of course, but when you look back at the time, don't think people appreciated how good. I think we thought he was our best player, but I think other teams knew he was like world class.
Yeah.
Equal to anyone. And I don't know whether it was just me. I don't think I was aware of it at the time. You look back now, you're just like, fuck, he was another level, wasn't he?
So who won it in 2006?
Germany, was it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
actually.
2010, weren't they?
Flipping it, Wits.
Come on, Wits, flipping it.
Can't do everything.
Who was Golden Boot, do you reckon?
Scalacci.
we need to know one at first.
Italy won on penalties. Beat France in the final.
Henri. Trezeguet.
That's who's Golden Boot winner.
Platini.
Italian centre forward Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
This has been bad, isn't it? Miroslav Klose, Golden Boot.
Oh yeah.
And then
They got that.
What goal machine he was, wasn't he? Closer.
Oh, he was a joke.
Flipping heck.
They got that with a bit more time.
If he was in the Germany team, they always had a chance of scoring, didn't they?
I thought he was in the Germany team because he wasn't. Oh, what's going on? Right, anyway, 2010, South Africa, the Vuvuzelas. Was that a good World Cup?
I remember some of England games. I remember they drew to USA. Was that the one with Gerrard? Was that? Yeah. Was that 2004? No, it was. Yeah, 2010 where Gerrard scored.
Is that the first game when we drew with USA 1-1?
Yeah, Gerrard scored early, like
I
a
was
bit
in
of a
Cornwall, there's a wedding going on and the bride kicked off because all the lads was watching the football. Like I think even the groom was watching it. That was horrible. One, we lost to Germany 4-1.
Yeah.
So I remember Lampard's goal got disallowed. Then Ozil. Remember Ozil?
Germany was
runs
so
past
good,
Gareth
though.
Barry, sprints past him. We got absolutely battered, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible that was. Who won in 2010 then?
That was Germany, wasn't it?
No, was that not
Yeah, they went and won it, didn't they?
France?
Don't know.
Trinidad and Tobago.
This is the biggest shambles of a podcast we've done.
And
Wait, can you just get a World Cup ahead so you can tell us who wins? And
Yeah.
We're running out now.
Yeah, we'll release this in 4 years' time.
It's going to be funny when we get to the 2022 winners.
I can't believe Morocco won it. I can't remember Spain beat Holland in the
Absolutely
final. I literally can't remember that. That's when Spain didn't have a centre forward, did they? They had like all
Beat
like
us in
Silva,
Golden
Villa and
Boot.
all that.
Beat us in the final.
Fabregas.
Yeah, beat us in the final. Came off
It
injured.
was, wasn't it? What was the lad? What was the lad called? The Dutch lad,
Van der Gaal.
Yeah,
Van der Cowan.
I came off injured in that game.
Yeah, he was on the. He come out in the World Cup. It was a horrendous tackle, didn't he? Like, there was loads that were horrible, weren't there? De Jong, that was it, wasn't
that's
it?
Yeah.
Smashed somebody. Spain were good that year, they weren't.
Yeah,
that was like
tick-a-tacker, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Just about to say that, yeah, all the
playing
tick-a-tacker
everywhere,
football.
all like flexible. Was it Fabregas was playing as a number 9 or something, was he? But like not playing as a number 9, but
Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets.
Was it Silva? Was it Silva
that
that
midfield?
David, not
he would have played Silva,
Fabregas on the bench.
Fabregas
was on the bench.
Yeah, they were a joke, weren't they?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, they were out of this world, weren't they?
Pure football.
Puyol would have played,
They were
wouldn't he?
Pedro, was he Spanish? Yeah.
Yeah, Pedro. Yeah, Puyol would have played centre half with old matey
PK.
Ramos.
PK. Yeah,
Or Ramos.
Ramos would have been in there.
Played, wouldn't he?
Flipping it, yeah.
Jordi Alba.
Wow.
Casillas in goal. Win his 273rd cap.
Yeah, he was only 18. Yeah, some team.
They're a proper team, they were.
Yeah.
Then 2014, I was in Brazil. That was good. Can you remember that though? Really, remember like I was exciting, wasn't it? The World Cup being in Brazil because everybody was like wanting to see that, and it was all football's coming home to Brazil, and then they were amazing. Everyone was buzzing off Neymar, and they got absolutely spanked by Germany 7-0.
So like 5-0 down in
Yeah, it's got absolutely
20 minutes,
destroyed, didn't it?
Ridiculous.
Germans were.
All the Brazilians were crying in the crowd and that, weren't they? I remember who's the lad that was at Chelsea, the centre half? Flipping name's
David
gone.
Speedy.
Yeah, yeah, with the curly hair. It was.
What was it?
Yeah, so I showed Bob him there, and he
David
was.
Luiz.
Yeah, he was crying on the pitch, wasn't he? After about 20 minutes, he
He
was
take
like,
a free kick, couldn't he? David Luiz?
"Oh yeah, absolute knuckleball." Yeah,
It's
I
weird
remember
how
him
we got
crying.
better memories of the earlier ones, haven't we?
Yeah.
Compared to the ones like,
Yeah.
like 1990.
Oh, that's what I mean. Up until 2002,
Yeah.
I was like the encyclopedia of.
It's because you're a
World
kid.
Cup.
It's because you're a kid, isn't it?
After then, I'm like,
2 million Gav was smashing it. We
After-
knew it all after that. We didn't know what
After 2002, I think Zidane was Italian.
That's going to pot.
That's when alcohol got involved, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Looking at
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's all a bit
A few
hazy.
brain cells went there, didn't they?
All a bit hazy. But England lost to Italy, didn't? Is that the one? Joe, is that one Joe's talking about? Joe played in that
Joe played in it, didn't he? Yeah. They did
Then we
get.
got-
They did get the group.
because we lost to Uruguay. Suarez scored 2.
Yeah.
We
They
both
played
got over the
Costa
top and
Rica as
smashed
well?
it in. We draw to Costa Rica.
We drew one and then got
We
spanked
draw
the
to
others,
Costa
didn't we?
Rica, lose to Italy, and then we needed to beat Uruguay.
Yeah.
And then I think we might have even been winning 1-0, were we?
I'm sure Joe
Suarez
said,
scored
didn't they,
2.
wasn't it France first game? I'm sure they played.
Was it France?
I want to say they played really well in the first game and didn't get a result, and then they just
Can't clarify.
Italy.
Italy.
It was Italy. Yeah, Joe spoke about this, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then Uruguay, that Suarez's second goal. Do you remember went past
Yeah, went
Josie,
past
didn't
Joe's
it?
hand, didn't it? A little bit. Could he done better?
No, I think it was past him before. He came out 1v1, didn't he? And it just like went
was
in
good at that
gap
time,
between
wasn't
his
he?
ear and his.
Around that era, Suarez, big player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
world
it's the one.
class.
It's the World Cup he did the handball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Against
Is that why Bits
because
won as well?
they played him recently, haven't they? And there's a bit of a they were in their group, a bit of a
He
redemption.
got sent off, didn't he? But then they missed the penalty.
South Korea, Ghana. That was it. Ghana, yeah. Handball. They missed the penalty.
Yeah. And then he's celebrating in a tunnel, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Slum rat.
Did Germany win that one? Who won that? Germany won it.
yeah. We get it right one day. We say Germany since 2002.
Germany won 8 of them, haven't they?
2018, then the last one.
I remember that one. They lost to Croatia, didn't we? Semis.
Yeah. Modric.
He's good though, wasn't he?
He's so good, isn't he?
England did well in that tournament.
How
didn't
good
they?
are Croatia? Like,
Scary.
Croatia's got a population.
Well, they
something
they
like
got to the
4 million
final then.
people.
Then they won it.
They've had a good 2 or 3 World Cups now, haven't they? Where you just think that you wouldn't
Like
want them to be.
How
Yeah.
Croatia any good? Like
Modric, innit?
tiny.
When you got players like him, like they just all raise their game, won't they? Because he's so good, isn't he?
They've got It's not just him. They've got good players around him as well. But he's
Yeah, of
obviously a
course.
star man.
But I mean, when you've got someone like him,
Who was it they played in this World Cup where he just scored them? It's Brazil, wasn't it? They knocked out Brazil,
Yeah.
where everyone thought Brazil was going to win it.
Yeah.
And him in midfield was just
controlled it, didn't
a
he?
joke. Yeah.
That ball with the outside of his foot, just slotted in for
Our team's better now. England's team's better now than what it was then.
100%. 100%. We went through. What was the game that we said the other day?
When we squad is
we
the
went
Euro
through the
2016 squad, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just not like can't even compare, can you?
So, favourite World Cup? Easy.
It's the one we remember.
The only one we can remember.
Go on, mastermind. What's your specialised subject?
Skill
What's your specialised subject?
World Cups. What? Any World Cups? No. Just Italian 90. Yeah, just Italian 90.
What's his specialised subject? Peter Crouch's goals against Nigeria. Footballers' ages in World Cups.
What's your specialised subject? Caribbean.
Right.
Who
World Cup wins.
Who's the best team in the Caribbean? Cameroon. We're only on the tea. We've only had tea. Honestly, there's nothing in that.
I don't know how we're going to edit that one. We'll probably be able to whittle that one down in about 5 minutes. We'll make that into a bite-sized one.
This is tea and biscuits. There's no rum or any brandy in there. Don't worry about that.
Anyway, what we'll do is
record that.
We'll edit that to about 5 minutes and we'll just play Nessun Dorma and World Emotion.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Right, well, thanks for listening, everybody.
The World Cup, though, how amazing is it? I know it's every 4 years, and again, we're spoilt with football now, aren't we? But when the World Cup's on...
That's why we can't remember it, because back in the 1990 and 1986, like, that was the only football that you watched, like international football. Now it's too much.
Seriously, that's what I think. And when they said about making the World Cup every 2 years, I'm not having that. I like it every 4 years. I like the feeling of the buzz.
I think now kids watching it now as well, they struggle to sit through a 90-minute game. Where I think because there's so much distractions, isn't there, that you can do other than watch football. Whereas back in 1990, you watch absolutely everything.
Cross-legged, yard from the screen.
Yeah.
Dad said, get back from the telly.
20p mix up, no bubblies.
Yeah, no bubblies, please. Get back from the TV. Remember that? You used to get told to get come away from the TV. Now the kids are sat on the chaise lounge flipping,
TikToking.
TikToking on their phone going, all right, what's the score?
Yeah.
Right, brilliant. I enjoyed that, actually.
Me too.
It's good. Right, thanks very much for listening, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Have a great Christmas. And if anybody's got a World Cup quiz coming up and you want me, Gavin, Dave, and your team, give us a shout.
Yeah, don't be inviting us to your local boozer. If anyone wants to get us any presents as well, we'll send you the email address if you send it.
Right. Thanks for listening. Have a great Christmas.
Yeah, cheers, everyone.
Right. Take care.
In the Stiffs with Budging Motors. Budging Motors are on Stafford Park in Telford and Featherbed Lane in Shrewsbury. For all your car needs, contact Budging now.